So I want to begin with Raisa. Raisa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for asking me to be here. I'm really excited today.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. Raisa, you're an apprentice at Jaguar Land Rover, and for the past few years of knowing you, your story has really impacted many young people. Raisa, what's your backstory to your journey to becoming an apprentice? And importantly, how has it impacted your life and those around you?
It's a great question. One of the most asked questions.
Raisa, you've gone back on mute again. There you are. You're back now.
One of the most asked questions that I get is why I chose to do an apprenticeship, and particularly why I chose to do engineering. For me at school, apprenticeships were never talked about. It was very much go to university, do your A levels, go to university, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of knew that within my family anyway, everyone went to university. And it was only because my brother before me, he was the first person in our family to go on and do an apprenticeship. So he was kind of starting to break down those barriers about the stigma around apprenticeships. And it was only because of him that I felt like I was then in a position that I was able to say, I don't want to go to university, actually. I want to go and study engineering and get some work experience. So I was quite lucky in a sense that I had someone before me. But like I said, at school, it was never, ever talked about. I remember sitting down in meetings with my careers advisors, and I'd say, I don't really think university's for me. I love learning, but I want to do something that's hands-on and I want to get some experience. And they always said, universities are the way forward, get your degree, you'll be able to go into, a top role at the end of it, etc., etc. And I just knew personally for me that wasn't the case. And my God, it was the best decision that I could have made, choosing to do an apprenticeship. It's unlocked so many opportunities for me, as you already know. Being involved with the Apprenticeship Hack and last year the BAME Apprenticeship Awards, being on the panel for the IFA, really being able to travel, so many things that I've been able to do, and that's purely because of the opportunities that my apprenticeship has given me. And if I had gone to university, I don't think that I would have the same opportunities that I've been given today at all.
And talk about some of the opportunities, because I think it's quite not conventional to see some of these opportunities that you've had. So, for example, you mentioned being an apprentice, joining the Institute for Apprenticeships apprentice panel. What was the reason for you joining first? And because you're, as I said, your journey is quite unique. What was the reason for you joining, and then how has that impacted both yourself and your colleagues and your position as an apprentice?
My main reason for joining the panel was I think that there is a lot more that could be done around the quality of apprenticeships and training, and the responsibility of employers to give apprentices the best opportunity into work that they can. And I think a lot of people talk about apprenticeships, but not a lot of people talk to apprentices. And we are really the people on the front line here who know what's good about apprenticeships, who know what could be improved. And I didn't want anyone to miss out on that opportunity. A lot of it is making apprenticeships accessible to people. There's a lot of apprenticeships, especially with apprentice pay and things like this, it makes apprenticeships not accessible to people who, maybe who are older apprentices and who have childcare responsibilities or mortgages. And it's kind of aimed at people who are 16 to 18 and just leaving school and living at home, etc. And that's not always the case. So that was the main reason that I wanted to join the panel, was to make a more inclusive and accessible apprenticeship journey for a lot of young people and older people out there. And that's something that the panel are currently working on at the moment. But there's lots of opportunities that have come up on the back of that as well. We get to speak to a lot of key stakeholders within my industry that I work in, and a lot of other industries as well. So that's been really exciting to be working on for the past 6 months.